Okay. Hello, everybody. Um, Welcome back. We're just doing more Oni tonight. Just trying to get back into this, and then tonight it's going to be focusing on some ranching, barbecue. Obviously, we don't have too much set up in terms of hatch ranching or anything like that just yet. Starting to get that automated at the end of the last stream. Moving away from meal wood, and as we can see, heat's not too much of a problem yet, but we're close to some geysers that are dumping some heat into our base. We just got the SPOM set up last time around as well, so that is hopefully still chugging along. We were having some slightly embarrassing heat problems that took me a long time to get to get under control, but everything seems to be all right now and functioning. So we've got our Atmos suits. More on the way. Oxygen is fine. And yeah, it's just going to be getting food up and going. Our like semi-unlimited barbecue setup here. Doing some exploration, hopefully getting into space, and then getting some of our what's it called? Applied sciences research going as well. And howdy, Moonlight. Um, Base is slowly getting bigger. Yes, we're making progress, slowly but surely. Let's give us some speed here so that we're not crawling around or crawling along too slowly. But I might also consider doing a early smelting setup with the metal refinery, just because if we can see the rock crusher is not it's not 100% efficient. So when I make, for example, copper ore to copper, we use 100 kilograms of copper ore, but it only puts out 50 kilos. So we're losing 50% of the materials that we put into it. Whereas the metal refinery here is 100% efficient. The only problem is it gets super hot and heats up the space around it, as well as a bunch of liquid that it dumps out. So we're going to try to get into that relatively soon, but we'll see what we get to today. Look at that. More meaningless achievements that just make us feel good. So smelting does allow us to do other things, so it's the only way that we can make steel. And steel has super high like heat resistance or heat tolerance, I guess. The melting point is way higher than, say, like copper or gold. So we can put it into rooms with machines that take a lot of heat, or for example, rooms with geysers that output incredibly like high temperature materials, and it will allow us to tame those or harvest those resources without our machines constantly breaking. There we go. And then haven't got the electricity set up to this yet, but we'll hook that up and then we'll get kind of a base idea for how this setup works. It's very simple, but super handy to have early in the game. And heat is under control for now, but with buildings that have high heat output, obviously you can get out of hand pretty quickly. we've got oxygen pretty well under control as well, which is nice. And the temperature that oxygen's coming out at is -8, which is pretty cold. But it's always easier to heat that up, I find, than to remove heat from it. So I don't mind some slightly colder oxygen coming into the base when we've got heat producers in here as well. Right. So we need more reed fiber, I assume. Yeah, so we're missing reed fiber, which we've got growing here. Do we have another setup going? I don't think so. Got some skill points here, so let's see if there's anything that we can give out for relatively cheap. I don't want to get anybody too close to their morale limit just yet. Not until we get barbecue up and running. So yeah, let's give Theta in here's got a ton of morale, so we'll give them improved carrying and make them a little bit more useful, but and get some research, keep plugging away at the research as well. Hopefully we can get some more dupes this playthrough as well, or this session as well. Just because it'll help. We've got food pretty under control, oxygen's under control. It just makes things a little bit more manageable and makes it so that we're building and expanding a little bit easier and more quickly and efficiently, I guess. We can get rid of some of these. Let's see how big our ranches are going to be slightly small on that side just because of this natural gas vent. But eventually I'll build up here. We'll make some bigger ranches and it will give us a more steady output of food. And Moonlight is kind of just a vibe for adding more dupes in some ways. We definitely want to make sure that we've got a lot of food available though. Like if I guess I don't have like a specific number in mind, but I'd like to have like, I guess like maybe 10,000 kilocalories per dupe, where before I feel comfortable adding more. I just play super conservatively, I guess, and am a little bit afraid to take on too much before we're ready. And usually that means, like, usually food, I guess, is the primary concern for me. Alright, let's see what we're wanting to do here. Stress is also becoming a problem for AMR, but their morale is super high, so I'm not overly concerned about it over a long period of time, but then that will get done shortly. We've got some free food up here as well, in Muckroot, which again isn't ideal, but it's also free kilocalories, which I'll never say no to. Alright, these are gone, so we're going to build the exact same thing here. And here. So again, these aren't going to be the most efficient, but it's you know, a bit of a start. We'll slowly expand our hatch ranching, and it'll be more and more self-sufficient and sustainable as we go. So we can see right there, there's an egg traveling along the conveyor chute to where it'll inevitably get dropped off in here. And about every 20 cycles or so, these eggs will reach their 100% incubation, they'll hatch, and then the critter that comes out of here will suffocate, become raw meat, and then our raw meat will get loaded into our electric grill. We have to set these just for stone hatches. The reason is stone hatches can take in, so they eat raw minerals, which are plentiful. See, hatchlings eat really only sandstone and sedimentary rock, but stone hatches, if we have them unlocked, which we do, will eat most raw minerals or raw metals as well. But we're gonna set it up for, guess, let's see what we've got most of. So we're looking for raw minerals. So we've got, as we can see, like a ton of granite, ton of sandstone, 193 and 129 tons to be particular, but we're just going to keep coring out this entire asteroid and gaining more and more raw mineral as we go, so it's just very easy to keep them fed, and it's relatively cheap. I know, same Moonlight, Stardew Valley, I actually live a little bit more dangerously in that game, where I'm constantly passing out in the mines and getting knocked out by slimes and things like that. I don't know what am I doing here? No, ladder's out here. There we go. Just start coring out some of this, exploring a little bit more as we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And basically, you're gonna start chewing through all these free resources around us. We've got diggers that need to be leveled up, so we'll keep doing that. And oh yeah, Astroneer is if I ever get a PC that handles games like that while I'm streaming, I think I'll upset a lot of people playing that game. I think I'm a frustrating watch with that one, or a stressful watch at least. Maybe I'm a frustrating watch with this too, though. I move pretty slowly, but that is just the way I play the game. Okay, so we got this going here as well. Need to get some deodorizers set up here. That's not necessary. We'll do that. Then I guess that feels like overkill, but that's okay. I like having these deodorizers set up here because they drop clay, which is handy later on, because when we do get our metal refinery and stuff like that set up, we put kilns in, but like we'll put kilns in the same room because they generate a ton of heat as well, and then they'll make ceramic, which is also super heat tolerant and handy for making things like pipes and ventilation and things like that. Yeah, you're right. Stressful for sure. Yeah, yeah. I'm yeah, play fast and loose with Astroneer. It usually bites me, but it makes it fun, I guess, for me. It's one of my favorite games, which is awesome. And yeah, pottery. Yeah. Dupe pottery would probably look pretty horrendous for these uh, base level guys, but they do their best, I'm sure. And once we get someone leveled up in like their creativity and all that, um, there's a skill tree that makes them like masterwork artists and decorators, and they make I think like art history people would appreciate some of the paintings that they make. That they're very basically dupe versions of like famous paintings like American Gothic and The Scream and all that stuff. Very ridiculous, but a lot of fun as well. Alright, these guys are working on this. We'll get them to tear that down. I don't think we have, yeah, we don't have that yet. Can't wait to get rid of these. They just are very annoying to look at. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There. Maybe I'll pull in some more tiles this way so that we don't have as much power demand. We'll move this over a little ways. Yeah, most of this probably isn't super necessary, but it's just the way that I like to get my base set up. And let's see. Got very less than ideal power setup out here. Our liquid reservoirs are starting to fill up as well, so we'll want to get a handle on that shortly. This is not going to reactivate for another 38.5 cycles, which is fine. Clean up some of this area. It's going to continue to melt down. Just slightly unfortunate. There's another cool slush geyser there, so we've got a lot of water. So that's not going to be a problem anytime soon. Okay, Gandalf has trapped themselves out here. So they're another classic dupe. I don't know why Gandalf is digging. They shouldn't be. But I guess that's the only thing that they had available around them to do. And they're really good at it for some reason. They're level 10. That feels weird. Anyways. Another way that the Atmos suits are super handy is, again, I've mentioned it a few times, but Gandalf made a mess, but it's stuck inside their suit. What we're going to need to do is make this an emergency. Someone's going to come start building it, hopefully before Gandalf makes their way back in. Hurry up. Yes. And once Gandalf takes this suit off, the mess that they made inside the suit is going to drop down in here into our polluted water and won't be a problem for our base. Alright. We'll see if they... Yeah, so there it goes. And it's done and dusted. Don't have to worry about it. Alright, we're gonna keep going up. Eventually get to space. Yeah, taking his time indeed, which is funny because he hasn't, you know, eaten in a day. He's not even supposed to be out there. Or no, he is. Never mind. He's fine. I lied. let's go check our printables. Supplying, cooking, tidying. Anemic is tough. I don't know what the do seed is, but we'll just grab that. For now, we'll check our dupe skills. We're not getting any food morale boosts just yet. Oh, we are actually. So Amar's got a crazy morale boost banked up. Gandalf has none, obviously, because they just spent the entire cycle outside of the base. And I think Glowin will get exosuit training as well, just to make them a little bit quicker and more efficient when they go into their exosuits outside. Let's continue to work on things in here. Just do that. We'll get rid of these deodorizers once it's done. We'll set this for polluted water. There. Amir does give off high confidence energy. He's a handsome horse lord, so why shouldn't he? Superfan shorts. For shorts fans. I'm a pretty big shorts fan myself. I show off the games every once in a while. Should keep building this up, but we're gonna hang on for now. We're gonna also grab these Wheezeworts. They just delete heat, basically. They have a cooling effect, but they like suck in heat more or less and eliminate it. So they're handy for cooling down very specific areas, and we're going to use it for radiation moving forward because they give off a ton of rads. And we're not too worried about it short term. We're not like making a bunch of radioactive, you know, Chernobyl dudes or anything like that. So not to worry there, but it's yeah, something that we're gonna focus on later on is getting our radiation technology moving forward so that we're able to continue up the tech tree and do more and more fun things. Get these wires going. I'm curious why they're not building here. But I guess we can just move up like that as well. And honestly cut that out. And being a little bit too conservative even for me right now, so we're gonna get things moving a little bit faster. 3, 4, all the way across. Polluted oxygen will be fine. High stress for Amir. He'll be okay. I have faith. Alright. We've got a backup plan for our hydrogen there, so things are continuing to move forward. I think what I want to do next is get some polluted water flowing into some more thimble reeds. It's taken long enough, so what we're gonna do is go all the way down like this. We will also do, oh god, that. And we'll build a liquid pump in here so that we can run it up like this and through here. And what we'll do is get some hydroponic tiles, and this is where our thimble reeds will go. We'll get a little bit of heavy watt going. We have a ton of copper, so it's not a concern at this point. There. And that'll just allow us to get more and more suits going so that we can get more of our dupes outside where they need to be doing things that are actually productive. I'm gonna store some of our seeds in the base just because I want to be able to move these out of here, so don't want sage hatches coming, which are just eating, basically just eating seeds and organic material, which isn't the end of the world, but they don't have as much appeal to me as the stone hatches. Just because literally everything we mine out we can feed to this stone hatch, more or less. It'd be helpful to do this so this polluted oxygen has somewhere to go. It isn't just sitting around waiting to enter our base. And maybe I'll do this as well. No research focus, so we're gonna keep going towards radiation tech because again, hopefully we can get that going in this session, but if not, it's no big deal, we'll just get it next time. Things are coming along. Really got a lot of stress on AMR here. What's got him going? Chilly surroundings, low morale, sopping wet, glum. Yeah, today's net stress is 11%, so that's not ideal. Do we have a bed for him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We do. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have all kinds of good stuff going for him, so let's try to get the barbecue going. Try to get maybe a few more decoration pieces because I think that that's also becoming a bit of a problem for them. Get some corner trim made of granite. That makes the bathrooms a little bit more palatable. We'll get some paintings in here eventually, but for now, we'll just do some hanging flower pots. The dreamy ones because they're in the bedroom. We'll do there, there, and there. Why not? I'll change the material of these eventually to make them a little bit nicer as well, but we'll do Mellow Mallow, a Bliss Burst, and then maybe another Mellow Mallow just for fun. And some tiles going here. We're gonna put seeds in here. And we'll do somewhat higher priority sweep for that. And then just some normal sweeps further. Actually, we don't need to sweep because we got dupes that are stuck in here constantly, and they'll passively just stick things, seeds into the storage there. We want eggshell to lime constantly because we'll need that for steel later on. Got some table salt already. That's just normal salt, but where's our table? Maybe we don't. So let's do like 10 more. 10 more? We have enough? Yes. Plenty. I don't know why my brain was not working there for a second. Alright. Making progress. Slowly but surely. We're gonna keep on keeping on this way. This cool slush geyser is gonna actually be, I think, really helpful for when we set up our smelting. Polluted water has a higher boiling point than just normal filtered water. It's at about 120 degrees Celsius, I think. Let me see if I can. Yeah, vaporization point 119.4. So it just takes a little bit more heat before it turns to steam. And that means that it takes a little bit longer for it to break any pipes that it's contained in, especially if it gets pumped out at high heats. Let's see what we can do morale and decor wise to help poor Aemir here, who seems to be the only one that's really struggling. We don't want Gandalf, we want Aemir. Keep this going while he is. He's hungry. That's fine. He's had a lot of food, so should be alright. He's sleeping right now. It's sad, but that's not true. Low morale is really the only issue here, so he does have low morale. That's unfortunate. Last cycle's decor is ugly, so yeah, we'll get some more decor in the base to make people more happy. Just in the bathroom alone should be fine as well. We'll do some granite. I'll just do that in between the lights in here. And I'm prioritizing rooms like this because every dupe goes in here every single cycle and spends time in here. So it's beneficial to increase decor in rooms that they're going to be frequenting. Ooh. Let's make that a priority. And get rid of these tiles. I don't know why I kept them here. Keep going down the research tree, so more and more radiation research means that we'll be able to get into using rad bullets and radiation for research later on, which is super helpful. And we'll build a pedestal here. Handcrafted. I like it. As we'll eventually get some items from some of these gravitas, like this, for example. Like there's a blender on here. So we'll grab this blender once we break into that room, and we'll stick it on pedestals within our base, so that our dupes can continuously view and enjoy them. Let's find some more hatches. Make sure that we've got our ranching going as efficiently as it can be at this stage. If we see any eggs laying around, we'll scoop those up too and just drop them off in here so that the auto sweepers will put them where they need to be, which is in here. We'll get another mellow mallow going to increase decor in here because it's not great right now. We'll also sweep up some of this copper and the seeds and such. Like sleeping with clutter on the floor is probably, or I can confirm it's irritating. We'll bump speed up a little bit as well. Samwise has a skill point. Samwise is knocking it out of the park right now, so we need to rein in and show a little bit of discipline there, not give him a skill to boost him up over his morale threshold. Dig this out. So yeah, only having 2 Atmos suits right now is tough. It really slows everything down out here. We're at 4, so we'll eliminate these guys. Eliminate you. Pick up our blueprint. Ooh, snazzier blue suit. We're gonna take that, because that will also help with our morale problems. Where's the suit? There it is. So we'll give this to our struggling boy Airmare. What else have we got in here? Warm coat. So we're not going to put the Primo garb, or the worn Atmos suits, or the worn jet suits, or the lead suits. We're not going to put anything in there, aside from clothing that we don't care about and databanks. Get some more barbecue going. We'll get rid of these hatches. More research complete, which is awesome. Got some liquid distribution research. We can get started. Alright, and we're gonna really bump up the priority on this here. This is pretty much all I want our dupes coming outside of the base to work on right now. Let's see if Amir's stress is going down at all. Deficient morale. Sleeping, high morale. What's a chit chat? Low morale. That's confusing. But hopefully going down. Today's stress is going down, so hopefully continues to do so. Lowen's injured. It's fascinating. I don't know where he got hurt, but let's maybe not allow Amir. Yeah, Amir's not allowed out there, so it's interesting that they're so stressed out. They're only allowed inside the base. Alright, finally, we're getting this going. This is going to eventually just drop the reed fiber here, so hopefully, let's see, we don't have any. Oh, we do have one in there. That's huge. So when this drops, our dupes will automatically start to fabricate a new exosuit or a new atmosuit, which means that we'll have one more person who can run out here at a time, getting our tasks done. Speeds things up that much more. It's still going to be really slow, unfortunately, but at least, you know, any improvement is improvement at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Continuously core out these areas, make use of all the resources that we can. We have to keep our eye on this liquid reservoir. When it backs up, may also wish to vent that, or to run that out into, you know, our metal refinery or anything like that, just because there's not much of a use for polluted, or I guess germ-filled water, aside from sucking up heat and producing items that aren't going to be eaten, or, you know, gases that aren't going to be breathed in by our dupes or anything like that. So we'll look into that when that becomes a little bit more of a problem. And it's quickly becoming a problem, but not a huge priority for me just yet. We'll dig out this, and once our radiation technology gets underway, I'll just core this out, get rid of it. Uranium stops dumping out radiation once it's been harvested, as far as I know, but we'll just store that in the same room as our radiation tech, and that's sort of, I guess, keeps things a little bit more organized in terms of me being able to keep track of it. So yeah, stop queuing up things. It's taking long enough as it is. And our guys are gonna prioritize that when we want them to prioritize this instead. More research complete, so we'll do the emulsifier next. And that might honestly do it for, or no, not quite. Not even close. Good. Lots more, oh my gosh. Lots more research that we can queue up, so. Gandalf's gonna be busy for a while yet. Amir's stress is going down, everyone else is at 0, so we're trending in the right direction. You're idle. because you're inside. What we could do, and what I honestly may do, is set up a little dupe training gym. So we'll put a door here. We'll put one on the other side, but we'll wait until I get it all queued up. And what that is just, we'll do 1, 2, 3 like this. A door on either side. Some wires leading straight up. And a light bulb, a ceiling light. And the purpose for this is when dupes are idle inside the base, we can set it to whoever we want, gaining access here. But when dupes are idle inside our base, they'll run on these treadmills and gain athletics and some operating skill points. So it's a quick way to level them up without having, like, you know, if there's not enough for them to do in here, then they'll hop on the hamster wheel here and at least be doing something that levels up their skills instead of idling and standing around like they just were with Samwise over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at their skills and see Gimli, Glowin, Gandalf, and Samwise are the only ones that we don't want running on these treadmills. So everybody else, which is Theoden, Lurtz, and Éomer right now, are going to be the only ones that we want in there. So we'll say Gimli is not allowed in there, Glowin, Gandalf, and Samwise. And then the opposite this way, Gimli is not allowed to go that way, Glowin, Gandalf, and Samwise. So these three, Éomer, Lurtz, and Theoden, I think. Yes. So Éomer, Lurtz, Theoden are the only ones who can run in here on this treadmill. Once they get leveled up enough, then we'll switch it out so that they don't get access to this room either. And that's just a quick and easy way to level up dupes who are otherwise useless outside of the base when they put an Atmos suit on. Here, industrial ingredient. Yeah, put eggshells in there too. Into lime, table salt, the salt. Everybody's got salt on their table. All the seeds here have been gathered up for the most part. Yeah, things are looking a little better now. Keep this going, skills. So yeah, Samwise, Gimli, and Gandalf are the only ones. It's good. Still got our infinite water loop here going, which is also great. And then the polluted water's going in here. Sorry, I'm just refamiliarizing myself with things as we go here, so sorry if that's less interesting to watch. And continuing to plug away at things slowly. Gandalf is going to continue doing research when applicable. to have 2 in there. Let's see. Gas distribution next. We're just gonna, again, keep working our way down the ladder there. Keep working our way up the ladder here and down this physical ladder as well. Hopefully, I just want to see if I can uproot this and get rid of this, get one more exosuit going just to hurry it up even a slight amount, because boy is it slow. New printables. What do you got? Supplying, ranching, digging. Decreased husbandry, so they're actually interested in digging and husbandry, but they're bad at husbandry and digging, so that's kind of lame. I'm just gonna take the seed again, which is not what I want to be doing. I really do want to add more and more dupes so that we can continue to build out and expand, but that's not the way it's going right now. The printing pod is kind of doing me dirty. Alright, that's already a priority 9, so this is tough. Do not care about that right now at all. Bring that way down. You're still, I don't know why. Are you not building things? Gimli's construction skills awful. Gandalf's is okay. Lurtz's is good, but he's stuck inside the base. So maybe we just let Lurtz out of the base for a little bit. See what he can get done for us. Earthleaf down here. It's hard in these streets right now, that's for sure. Alright. We'll do some mopping up here eventually. It's kind of pointless right now because everything's melting down. Slowly but surely. And it'll continue to do that as we go. Supply teleporters over there. Enamel sink. Paper towel dispenser. This is an interesting little room. I've never run into the one that looks quite like this. Just a little washroom down here, which is kind of funny. Alright, finally, Lurtz is doing something productive. Thank heavens. Alrighty. Once we get this going, we'll get some more reed fiber going. We'll be able to craft some more Atmos suits, as well as some other clothing to boost morale and decor and things like that, which is awesome. That's what we want. There we go. Keep going, gang. I'll inspect these. Nothing important, but there's some data banks. We'll pick those up because those will be useful for our data analysis research later on as well. So yeah, we can see Theoden and Aemir are doing as they should and working out in their spare time, increasing their physical and probably mental health. Just fabulous. Good for them. We'll actually keep that there so that those Paku stay alive for now. I don't want to remove all of them from the map because they can be a good source of food as well. And you can always call in some off of the printing pod. Eventually they'll come in, but we'll just keep them there for now, doing their own thing. They're not harming anybody or bothering us in any way, so we'll just let them continue to be. And then for now, we're not going to deal with that. Got too many things queued up out here for too few dupes. And I just want to make sure that we're continuing to get turn of the century. Yeehaw! Look at that. We just want to make sure we get things underway here so that it's a little bit more sustainable and efficient. As those are the two buzzwords that we're going to keep throwing out there. Really want these thimble reeds growing. But it does make a huge difference, even just having one more dupe that can come out here. That's massive. Oops. There's a thimbleweed seed, literally right there. Please, someone plant it. Yay! Body temperature. Oh no. Okay. We're getting some big temperature fluctuations down here. The water's at 36.8. Yes. Team of the century, yeah. But yeah, atmosuits are the biggest thing for the mid game, I guess. Midnight. It's tough to get anything done without them, that's for sure. We're gonna keep moving on up. Not worrying about the cold or the liquid or anything like that right now. The reed fibers are growing. Got some volcanoes down here, and it looks like the critter, you put critters in here, they get analyzed, and they can create new critter morphs from the machine in that room. Got our teleporter, so we'll see where this will teleport us to. If we send a dupe there, they will come out on the other side, and we can see it's a swamp, frozen swamp basically, with some infrastructure set up in some random places, but this is where they will come out to, Slopila, or Slopila, I don't know. But the tricky thing with this is you can only send one dupe at a time, and it has a cooldown of I think 3 cycles. So it definitely is a bit of a gamble if you're not prepared for it. And sometimes it's easier to just wait until you've got rocketry and you can build a rocket pad over there and land your dupes that way. But usually I'll send over 1 or 2 dupes at a time to set up just a really small base similar to what we would have done here at the very beginning. The only tricky thing is that they have no morale when they go over there because obviously all their creature comforts exist here and not on the other asteroids, so it's again, it is a gamble. Yeah, this is such a fascinating little memory stick inside the mirror. That's all there was. Fascinating. Oh my goodness. Good lord. Some lore for you. Jabo egg. Produce rest and feed on Pakus. All that doesn't sound all that appealing to me right now. And we're just gonna reject these guys too, because again, I want dupes that have 3 interests and some that are going to be useful for us. So right now, we've got 2 diggers. We've got some that are capable of building, but maybe having a dedicated builder. I guess Lurtz is sort of that. He has no interest in construction though. So I guess our next focus should be maybe a decorator, constructor, or some combination, just to help keep morale up. Stress is going down because our decor is certainly a lot better than it was, but Lowen's not doing anything, which is fascinating. Why is are you not allowed out? You're not. Do you have the necessary skills to go out? You do. So that's a waste. That's frustrating. Just don't want Aemir and Theoden out there now, basically. There is a limit to how many people are going to go out there, obviously. We only have 3 suits right now, so having our builder diggers go out there is super helpful because we want to keep going up pretty much as fast as we can. Discover space. We'll start getting our research and things like that focused out there. Get Gandalf to continue down the research tree here. Classic Lowen indeed. Classic me, more like, not allowing him to go outside. Overbearing parent. Alright. And we'll keep... let's just focus on the ladders, I guess. I was gonna say we'll keep bumping the fire pole up there just to help them continue to get where we need to go more quickly. They'll get back to the base a little bit faster. But for now, oh, they had earned a skill point. It's not super helpful, but that's okay. Everything's helpful, I guess, at this stage. And then we can start digging away at some of this. We don't want it all gone yet, just because we don't really have a way to store this stuff. I'll make a little room to get ready for our Radbolt technology and things like that. But until then, just gonna continue to core things out and harvest resources, because can't get enough right now. Can never have too much, I guess is more what I mean to say. Way to go, gang. Making a lot more speedy work of this now, thankfully. And germs aren't a problem. I don't think. Yeah. Virtually no surface germs or airborne germs anywhere right now. And we're going to start to clear out some of these slime biomes, and we'll consolidate some of our polluted water and stuff like that at the bottom here, as well as the brine and the salt water and things like that that's going to come out of this cold biome. I'll just inspect all of this right now. That's a lot of lore. Wearing lampshades on their heads and drawing eyebrows on sleeping colleagues. I'll keep that up in case I know you're real interested in the lore there, Midnight, so I'll keep it up for a minute or two. There. And continue through this room here. Inspect things. Inspect you. Nothing there. Alright. We're going to work through. There's Brian there. So let's go like that. There. Work our way into this room here. We're definitely, this is the entrance to space, basically. The start of the space biome. You can see it's very cold. And that's another reason why atmosuits are super necessary for any kind of expansion. The cold biome doesn't come close to actual space, so we're gonna need additional protection for that, but we've got it now, so we're able to access that. We'll get up there, we'll get some radiation research going down closer to the base, a little bit closer to the base that is, not too close. And we'll start working on clearing out this side as well. I've been hesitant to go too far over there because of all this chlorine, but that's actually not much of a problem now. So it might actually just be worthwhile to do this and work our way over here. I'll clear out before we get over there. I'll clear out some space for this water to go. It's down there. I think should be fine. Maybe like that. But we're gonna let them keep going up first, just a little ways. Since this is a smaller asteroid, I've been allowing them to use sandstone to construct pretty much everything outside of our starting biome even. But with the larger one, like the vanilla game, you want to use local materials. So sandstone is typically only found in space here, as well as in the starting biome. So it only makes sense to build with it typically in your starting biome, or I guess in outer space as well. But since this is a smaller asteroid, like we can already see our lava biome down here and our space biome right here. They don't have too far to travel to build with sandstone, so I've just been letting them build with it kind of willy-nilly. But a lot of times it is worthwhile to make sure that you're using like the localized materials that are available to you, like in these like sugar sulfur biomes where it's a little bit warmer. There's a lot of igneous rock usually, so I'll use that. There's some sandstone over there as well, which is interesting, but I typically try to use whatever materials are immediately available in that area, just so my dupes aren't running all the way back to the starting biome to pick up some sandstone to then just go up here and build one section of ladder. But again, because there's so much available, it's not really too much of an issue on this asteroid. Alright, I'll let that go for now. Make sure that they're cleaning up things and building as we go. Just continuing our way up into space. And continuing with our reed fibers so that we can continue to construct more atmosuits. And working our way down the research tree. So as we go, we're going to continue to expand our hatch ranching capabilities as well, which means that we'll need to expand this way underneath the base and clear out this polluted water and also kind of shell in this natural gas geyser. Choose a blueprint. Operating, tidying, digging. It's not the best, but also not the worst. We've got decor morale bonuses. At this point, I kind of just want another dupe to get things moving. So since they've got tidying and operating, they can do life support stuff around our base. So we're just gonna call them Pippin, and they'll kind of be one of our homebody dupes that sticks around, doesn't do any traveling to the other asteroids or anything like that. And we'll boost up Pippin's operating, as well as, I guess they can do a little bit of husbandry, and then the rest of it we'll just keep as is. They're not going to do any farming or construction or excavation or anything like that. They're just going to stick around the base. and we'll get them on this second schedule here with Samwise, with the other hobbits, so I'm sure that they'll be plenty happy there. And we'll get the, let's see, we'll get improved carrying for now. They're basically going to be just running around, being kind of a dog's body, so we'll get that going. They're going to need a bed of their own. So this was originally going to be a Bionic Dupe's room, but for now it's just going to be a little hovel for Pippin. Bit of a Harry Potter boy in the cupboard underneath the stairs type of situation here, but I think they should be fine. It's 18 tiles, and I think a bedroom needs to be a minimum of 12 tiles for barracks, so they should be fine. They'll get the same morale boost that these guys get. We've got 8 mess tables here, so we're doing fine for now. But maybe we'll get another handful of mess tables like that. Just have a great hall. Eventually we'll get some paintings, some statues and things. Howdy, Koopa. How's it going? We're doing some Oni. So far we're slowly expanding ranching. We've got our Atmos suits also slowly getting produced. And let's just check and see the skills here, because I think I felt like I leveled up Aemir Theoden. He's got suit sustainability, so Aemir, sorry, can actually leave now. And I won't be too upset about it. But things are getting organized, that's for sure. They're getting a little bit better, Koopa. We're still moving around at a snail's pace. We've only unlocked one additional dupe, unfortunately. So, again, it's not going super quickly, but we're getting there. And again, because I'm moving so slowly, I was hoping to get ranching and barbecue, some radiation research, get to space, do a little bit of exploration around the planetoid, but it's been slowly chugging along, so I don't know if I'll get to all that tonight, but we'll see what we can get to, and you know, hopefully it's sets us up, I guess, well for next time around. Because I'm gonna do 2 streams this week, but I don't know if I'll do. I haven't decided if I'll do Oni on Thursday or not, but if I do, ideally we're getting into radiation technology and starting to build some rockets and things like that. Some more exciting things than just getting the basic stuff like utilities and things like that going, which feels like it's just been happening for forever at this stage. Onward and upward. Let's keep going up to about there. See how much of let's see how much of the map this reveals. Gotta make sure everyone is sustainable before exploring. You're right. But I'm also getting a little bit impatient with the lack of exploring, so we'll see how long things stay sustainable. Are we finally? Yes, thank goodness. We're finally getting the reed fibers here produced, so get the rest of our meager supply of Atmo suits going. Make sure Pippin absolutely is not allowed to leave the base. They're so slow. Mirth Leaf, because I feel like Pippin's got a lot of mirth in their life, and then Mellow Mallow as well, although I'm not sure that they're the most mellow character who's been thought up ever, but about as chill as that Lord of the Rings fellowship gets. Alright, so we're not waiting on supplies, we're just waiting for somebody to get going on that. We've got a lot of food, more food than we know what to do with right now, and that's not a terrible problem to have. Still just running on our normal generators, which we'll have to wait until we get some steel to get our natural gas geyser going, just because it puts out natural gas at 150 degrees and we don't have any materials yet that can handle that. But once we do, we'll get some power going, and then power will be a lot more sustainable and automated instead of having to worry about running out of coal. It's continuous production of natural gas, continuous supply of power for things outside of our base, and if we have excess, we can run it into the base as well. Alright, space biome has been cracked into. As we can see, it is cold, real cold, but submit this bioscan here, see if anybody's... Pippin certainly isn't going to do it, because they're not allowed outside. Same with Theoden. May it just be that we have to wait a while for this, which means we have to wait a while for this blender. But we're gonna put the blender on here eventually. If I can find it. Where is the blender? This isn't a big deal, this is just me being silly, but it's nowhere. I guess because we don't have access to it yet through this door, which is fair. I did talk a little bit about what the blender is about. It's basically just an artifact. You can analyze it at a station, but also it's decor. So we're going to use it for decor right now. But the artifact analysis station, which I think is in... I thought it was in rocketry, but maybe it's in stations, which would make more sense, I guess. Where are you? I may also not have it... yeah, I guess we don't have it unlocked yet, but you can analyze it at artifacts. If we go to the star map, there's little areas like this, which we'll discover with our telescope when we get that set up. And those often contain artifacts and things like that too that we can collect with a rocket. What do we got? Yes, Ghosts of Gravitas. So we've unlocked this. Now maybe we can put it on. Here we go. Blender. Great. I just put it here because, again, people run by this frequently, so it's helpful to have this area be not hideous, which it is hideous right now. So, ideally, the areas that they frequent, like our bathroom, which we did spruce up a little teeny amount, bedrooms, mess hall, and then areas like this where they spend a lot of time. I should make this a little nicer looking for Samwise, but I have not yet. But what we want is areas that dupes are going to be spending a lot of time in to be more aesthetically pleasing so that they don't get morale losses for being in ugly environments. There we go. There is space. So let's continue to build up. We will stop right there, actually. We'll do, actually, stop there. We'll dig out this, and then we'll build up this way. I don't think this is super necessary. This is just something that I like to do to make sure that we're not losing a ton of materials to the vacuum. And we'll put manual airlocks in there for now. It's a little bit slower that way, but, oops. I want to make sure that we do it the proper way. So we'll do that, then we'll do same thing. So manual airlock and some tiles, and that way when we get up into space, we don't just lose. There's a bit of a buffer between losing materials. And yeah, Koopa, it's easy to forget about decor, but it can really do a real number on morale. I was having a little bit of a problem with that with one of my dupes earlier in this session, but it can be, yeah, a massive issue eventually, especially when you get into the higher morale needs. It's tough. Still need 1 unit of reed fiber. Still want people to auto harvest that, but anyone who has farming for priority is typically not allowed out the door. Theoden's not. AMR is, so AMR should hopefully do some farming here shortly. And start collecting reed fibers for us because they've been a bit of a bottleneck so far as well for me, which has certainly been frustrating, to say the least. Alright, let's get a few more small ranches going. Just gonna try to continuously make sure that we're expanding our ranching capability. Do not have enough raw metal, which is annoying because, again, the rock crusher is not 100% efficient like a metal refinery is. But I don't think I have the manpower right now or the proper space laid out yet to set up even just a small refinery setup, which is frustrating. So we're going to be wasting some materials here. Do have a lot of copper ore, but actually we can wait. We can wait. We'll get the setup going anyways, but we'll have to wait to expand out anyways, and yeah, as it stands right now, this is not super efficient to begin with. It's only slightly worth our time. So we're going to core that out. We'll make our way slowly over here, get rid of this polluted water, and that way we've got space for some actual ranches that are going to be doing some actual work for us instead of just these little half-hearted attempts. Alright, narcoleptic is not good. Farmer decorator, that actually could be fine. Do want a decorator. Can't do researching, which isn't an issue. Decreased husbandry, which also isn't going to be an issue. So we'll just get, let's say, Arwin. Or, yeah, we'll make this Arwin. They'll do our decorating. And yeah. Alright, and Arwin's going to be scandalously sharing a bedroom with Pippin. They are going to start with art fundamentals. We're gonna forget a lot of things, obviously, so we don't want AMR coming in anymore. We do not want alerts coming in anymore. Just Theoden, Pippin, and Arwen is fine. And again, we don't want alerts or AMR coming in. And I explained this a little bit earlier, but I'll explain it again. So this is just a little dupe gym that lets, so we're gonna disable that, get off there. Alerts. It's basically our idle dupes that can't go outside of our base because their athletics are too low and they move too slowly. If they're idle inside, they'll come on here. Each generator is just hooked up to a ceiling light. We try to get the decor in here up a little bit so that it's not a huge drain on their morale, but not sweeping the area is having an effect on that. But it basically just means that if they're idle, they hop on here and they level up for free, basically. And let's see. Slowly making our way up, which is great. And continue to set up for our eventual ranching stations, which is also great. Get rid of these. And we'll have 5 ranches running, which is enough to sustain a significant number of dupes. Also gives us coal so we can get refined carbon. We can keep our coal generators running. Refined carbon just being useful for creating steel and things like that later on. Okay, so yeah, we're making progress now. Things are starting to pick up a little bit, finally. I know it's been a slow go, but it's we're making progress on our Atmos suits. We're making progress with our exploration. We're going to start getting our research together here. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'll start getting our applied sciences research going. And I think what that's going to look like is we'll get some insulated tiles here. We'll make the room our standard room size, so 4 tiles tall. See if we can get our can't get our materials studies or our material science or yeah, applied science going. So we're going to just do about 10. Yeah, that only gives us 500, so we'll do 20. Copper ore to copper. We've still got a lot of unmined copper around, so I'm not too worried about wasting the materials right now. But we'll get into radiation here, which is going to have be a bit more taxing on our very inadequate power setup out here, which is already being taxed by our desalinator, space heater, a couple pumps, some deodorizers, and things like that. So it is going to need some help, that's for certain. And we can get, eventually this gas reservoir is going to fill up, so we'll get some excess hydrogen, and this is not going to happen for another, a number of cycles in the future, but we'll get some extra hydrogen going into a hydrogen generator, and that's basically just going to be not quite free power, but any excess will go into the power grid and give us a little bit of extra power when and where we need it. And our last bit that we can unlock with our advanced radiation is the stuff that's going to give us and/or automation, which allows for some more advanced setups. Hatched a new critter morph, so one of our stone hatches. Awesome. And Koopa, I think I will eventually run some of our cold water through even just a like if I set up smelting, I'll run it through that area as well. Like I'll find a way to warm it up without the power demand of the space heater, which I think is still serving a big purpose, but I haven't checked in a little while here. Things are coming out. Yeah, so it's still heating it up relatively efficiently, I guess. We do just have a what is it over here? It's 1 degree in there. The polluted oxygen is probably not helping. But I think I will run it through like either the, as you say, the natural gas or the natural gas reservoir here, or I'll run it through a smelting, like an early smelting setup, not the one that I'll have permanently in the future, but the early one for sure. Goodness. Still need refined metal, which crazy that we don't have that yet. I'll do these lower priority just to make sure that people aren't running to them before they run to their other tasks. Should have done that earlier, but I didn't, so there we go. And yeah, it doesn't boost the morale by too much, but it helps a little bit. A handcrafted pedestal as well as the blender that's on it. Why are we not? What's going on here? Not sure where the extra Atmo suit is, but that's a question for another cycle, I guess. Let's see what we got in the unclaimed blueprints here. Frilly Leech socks. How fun. Extra flounce too. Usually you gotta pay for that. Let's continue to get our future research setup going. Alerts are still so slow. My word. Samwise here is my favorite dupe, if I had to pick favorites. Also my favorite Lord of the Rings character, so that checks out. Getting grizzly meals again, and no barbecue yet, which is tough, so we're suffering the morale penalties from that. Here we got sedimentary rock, which it looks like we don't have any of. We do not, so instead what we'll do, because these guys are probably going to be getting hungry soon. Very small amounts of sedimentary rock. Is we'll get our stone hatchlings accepted everywhere. And we'll start feeding our stone hatchlings. So we're gonna feed them. I think what we've got the most of is probably granite, which is fine. Got a lot of granite, so we'll do that, and then up here I think I actually only want stone hatches and not normal hatch or hatchlings. And we'll apply that to these eventually, but for now, we're gonna keep it that way. And we do, perfect. So we can build our materials science setup. We'll do it here. And thought is that I can just run things like this. And then we'll run it over here eventually, because my idea is I'm going to put, it's not an original idea at all actually, but we're going to put some Weezeworts down here. We'll have a couple of rad generators running next to the Weezeworts. We'll direct everything up this way around here, and we'll put a door here. Maybe an auto sweeper eventually, as well as a storage container that has phosphorite, to be able to feed the Weezeworts. And then we'll make this inaccessible for our dupes. We'll make this inaccessible for our dupes. And that way they're not in the super radiated area, they're just able to access the materials study terminal here. So now we'll get our farm tile. We'll get one here and here. Let's see what our auto sweeper can reach. So if we put it here, it should be able to reach pretty much everything. So we'll do that. We'll put a pneumatic door, I think, here, or maybe, let's see if we can get the auto sweeper. Should be able to reach kind of through the door. Yeah, that's perfect. So we'll do this. We'll get a Wheezewort in here. We'll get some Radbolt generators. I'd say just here and here, or here, here, and here. This is probably, again, overkill, but this is just an idea that I wanted to try out. So we'll do this and this. Eventually, I'll get the Radbolt generators here, all aimed at this. So they'll shoot the Radbolt here, and then shoot it here. And ideally, that is sufficient, or I can get, yeah, we'll do that. We'll get a storage bin that's here. We're not going to allow our dupes to go through. Better idea. So we'll do this. We'll get the auto sweeper instead to go here. Yes, here. We'll set up a mesh tile because I think that the auto sweeper can still reach with the mesh tile there. And then, like, we'll see when it gets built, but we'll set the reflector to just face this way. And I don't think the Radbolts will hit the auto sweeper, but they might. So we'll see if that works or what, but maybe I'm just complicating things too much. And that's probably the case, but that's literally like half of this game is doing that. Do that and that. And again, this is going to suck up quite a bit of power, this whole setup, so we'll need to, certainly need to address that problem. But for now, I'm just going to see if it works at all. And if it does, then I'll feel accomplished. See what new printables we got. Squash fries. Cool. Good quality, so we'll take that any day of the week. Get some more skill points here. So Amare, it's X but again, we're still tapped out in terms of morale. Get Samwise, they improved carrying, but they don't really need it, so we're gonna hold off. Arwen and Theoden and Pippin are still running around down there, which is great. Arwen's machinery and their athletics continue to go up, as does everyone else's. Still got thimble reeds growing down there. We do not have. Really do need some suits. I want to bump up AMR's farming and ranching priorities, because I guess they're farming, or they're ranching right now, so really it's Theoden that's letting us down, but I think that their farming is also poor, so yeah. Tough. But that's the way she goes. We're gonna get Pippin into rocket piloting right away. We're gonna let everybody continuously work on everything here. And again, I hope that the Radbolt reflector doesn't just ping the Radbolts off of this auto sweeper here. I'm not actually sure, and I know that it can't go through walls, but I don't know if this if the auto sweeper counts as a background building or what. Yeah, make sure that this is aimed down. And we'll have to make sure that this is also powered constantly, because that's a if we don't keep these powered, any radiation like Radbolts that they generate will disintegrate very quickly. And we'll keep chugging along here. Almost at the end of this session, but again, I am going to stream another time this week. I'll stream on Thursday. So if anyone's interested in seeing more Oni, let me know. I can do that, but maybe I'll play something else. I've been thinking about playing the game They Are Billions, and I don't know if there's any interest in watching that. It's just something that I've had a bit of a had the itch for the last little while. I haven't played it very much lately, so something that I'm thinking about playing. And if anyone's interested in watching, let me know. I'll definitely be happy to do that on a stream as well. We're gonna have to deal with this here shortly. This can also be dumped into, as I've said a billion times on this session already, this can be dumped into our metal refinery, our temporary, soon-to-be metal refinery, that is. And because it has a higher boiling point, it takes a lot longer to heat up, and honestly might get rid of the germs that are on it. I can't remember though how. So yeah, food poisoning germs die off at 75 degrees, so if we heat that up through a metal refinery, it'll actually kill off a lot of the germs on it, so that's kind of ideal. So maybe we'll do that. We'll reroute this instead of putting the brine actually through it, although the brine will can be run through to warm up a little bit on its way to the desalinator as well. So we've got some ideas moving forward, at least some room for expansion in this base for sure. Some light exploration happening. But it'll be exciting once we've got all of our Atmos suits up, our dupes leveled up. We've got, 10 or 12 dupes that can run around and get things done in a timely fashion for us, like Lurtz is doing here, the Lord's work. Although, please deliver these suits. Please, please deliver these suits. But yeah, we got some good things cooking here. Is our power actually hooked up right now? So as soon as one of these Weezworts goes in, these are going to start generating a fairly high amount of radiation. And sucking up a lot of power, which is going to be a bit of a concern. So let's make sure we've got all that we need to support that right now. I think what that is going to look like is honestly maybe just plugging in another generator. Potential load's only 3.15 kilowatts, but this can only put out 800, I think 600 watts. And these can only how much can these put out? 500 to 500 GTUs is the heat, but they can 400 joules will be lost as heat. Okay, so we don't have enough power capacity to oh, sorry, what is the cloud coming from? Those orange tankers? This? Orange tanks. So this is just polluted oxygen. It's just this is just gas. Sorry, Moonlight, that got trapped in here beforehand. It's something that I would typically or is that what you were looking for? Or directly above that? Like these guys? I'm so confused right now, sorry. So there's polluted oxygen trapped in here, there's hydrogen in here, if that's what you're looking for. I don't know, sorry, I don't know if I know what you're... Above the orange polluted oxygen. It's a darker cloud. Like, not these guys. These guys? So this is just abyssal, it's just material. So yeah, this is just like a hard mineral that I haven't mined out yet. So I could just do this and they'll dig it out. Sorry about that. Sorry, I was so confused. I don't know what took me so long. But no, this is just yeah. So this is found. It's this stuff basically. It's just a smaller version of it. But it's a resilient crystalline element. Yeah, sorry about that. And then our gym is working. It's doing what we need it to do, which is awesome. And then, let's see. Probably gonna wrap up here in a few moments, but let's see if we can't get this stuff finished up before then. We'll do that. Then we'll just lower the door, that door. The rest of it's fine. The auto sweeper is going to take care of these, so we don't really care about the priorities, but I guess I can just bump them back down to 5. Actually, yeah. No, that's fair, Moonlight. It is like annoyingly close to this stuff, so that's totally fair. Can you reach? You can't reach because of this mesh tile. But I think what I can do is kind of cheese it a little bit here. I think it'll reach diagonally through here. So if I take the mesh tile, put it over here, the dupe still won't be able to get through here into this area, but the auto sweeper will be able to access this storage bin. So let's do this. Hopefully it works. Incredible. Look at that. We're not going to get you guys to go through this way. We can go through the other way. And these are really killing our power, which makes sense. Got critters that are starving because they can't eat anything in here. They can't eat granite. So we don't have enough stone hatches to. So what I'm gonna do is we'll just get some normal sandstone or something in here. Let's do sandstone for now. We'll get that to go into these. That's storing just granite. This is not storing anything, so let's get the granite out of here and just get the sandstone in. There. And our ranchers will feed these guys. I would have just opted to attack them and turn them into barbecue already, but I do want this to be sustainable, so we're gonna hold off until these start kind of dying off naturally on their own. Watch out for that cloud indeed there, Moonlight. But let's see, we got this pretty much going. As we can see, they have started generating some rad bolts, which is awesome. The Wheezewort is putting out a good amount of radiation, 300 per cycle. Once we get another one in here, in theory that should double. We will set up another coal generator right here with mesh tiles here. Maybe another smart battery as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll do that. See? And see if that fixes our power problem a little bit. I don't know that it necessarily will, but fingers crossed. Again, this is a huge power suck. 480 watts per, so maybe even deactivating, disabling one of those to begin with is a benefit. And maybe I'll make it this one. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but I'll make it that one anyway. Only one coal generator out here, Koopa. We're on dual inside. But yeah, cycle 113 and having coal as our power is pretty is less than ideal. That's for absolute certain. And yeah, Moonlight power becomes an issue around this point of the game. Especially with the DLCs, because in your standard playthrough, this is not a bad dupe, but I think that we're gonna hold off. See, we're ranching, digging. We don't really need. I want a construction. I want someone who can construct things. But in typical playthroughs, you run into an oil biome down here that has oil which you can refine into petroleum and other, like, oil byproducts, which lets you run obviously power generators and things like that, but also make plastics and a bunch of other useful materials. But in the DLC, you don't start on an asteroid that has an oil biome the same way. So there's some roadblocks that you run into that I guess typically I wouldn't have to worry so much about, but with the DLCs enabled, power, for me at least, is a little bit more of a struggle because I can't get to steel or plastic as quickly, and it's harder to tame one of these. I haven't tamed too many of these in the past. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll set up solar arrays up here, and I find that super helpful because that is just kind of set it and forget it power unless they get hit by little meteorites or things like that. But power is, again, at this stage of the game, for me at least, a bit of a hurdle getting into things like radiation technology, rocketry, all those things. It really changes the way that the game plays. And yeah, I agree. It is a really cool idea for the DLC. And this DLC, they've changed so many things, but it came out like 4 years ago, so it really has been something that's been added to for a long period of time. But it just makes it, like, the replay value for this game is, I think, like, through the roof. Can't say enough good things about it, really. Alright, I really want to get that, but our decor is ugly, and our last meal was grizzly, so it's tough going here. We'll get some sculpting blocks and things like that, although I think Arwen's skill level is still, yeah, she's in art fundamentals, so aesthetic design is what we want to get towards for some nicer looking art pieces, but we'll build some less nice looking ones for now. Just kind of willy-nilly around the base. It's nicer to have a bit of a purpose when you're placing these things, but especially right now I kind of can't be bothered, just getting some decor down is gonna do more, gonna benefit us more. Where'd you come from? Than being too particular about where we put it. Someone just dropped some ice, maybe. I hope that's what happened. But we'll get a couple decor pieces down. Make things a little bit more pretty. Let's just do it here. Again, looking at places where people frequently have to pass by. That means any section of ladder, I guess, that like these places are really quite hideous. So let's just plop those down wherever we can. And then we'll see Arwen start working their magic here and sculpting. Not sure where they are right now, maybe they're sleeping, but... Oh no, they're outside, which is not what we want. Do not go outside. We didn't prioritize. We didn't set things up for Arwen at all, did we? Decorating. They're not meant to do. But that's not true at all. Alright, there we go. Now that things are actually the way we want them to be, they're going to start doing some sculpting, and they look similar to what it would look like if I were to try sculpting from a piece of marble or something like that. But they're doing their best. Beautiful. It's called Unrequited. Basic art time indeed. Look at that. Just doing the same thing for all of them, I guess. Do what you can with what you got, I guess. She's got a style, yeah. Oh wow, 3 for 3. Look at her go. Alright. And starting to get... Starting to get somewhere. Which I can appreciate. Let's see, what else have you got? That's all Arwen. I mean, she did 3 stunning sculptures in one day, so I don't think I can fault her. Gonna keep rounding up these hatches. Yeehaw. Alright, we are gonna have to get Gandalf that skill here shortly for advanced materials research, just because we don't want to waste the rad bolts that we're generating. And I think what we're gonna get him to work on is... Let's do some rocketry. There's the artifact analysis station, so that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier there, Koopa, where things like the blender and things that you collect from space can get analyzed there for research points and things like that. But yeah, let's start doing some rocketry. Steph, we've got the solo Spacefarer, so we could go to space with the things that we have right now. And I think we'll get the gas range eventually. We got that natural gas geyser right next to our base, so that is only going to benefit us more and more. But let's do this. Let's get that started. Just for fun. I should probably do the blasts. Yeah, it's going to put a bit of a deficit. We can handle it. We can handle it. 21 per cycle, 38 per cycle. That's not bad. With just one Weezwort, that's actually pretty great. And we can even collect another Weezwort there quite easily. Risk it for the biscuit, indeed, Koopa. Just constantly with the hearts here. That's just not worth it. So I think we've got space for other. Nope, we don't. Well, the defenseless creature is going to be sacrificed for the greater good. And let's see. I do want to be around here for when I just want to see if this is going to work or if I have to rejig the auto sweeper and what have you. Please work. It would be cool if it did. That's hilarious. Okay, so that's not gonna work. I don't even know how to get it to stop now. So we have a problem indeed, Koopa. But I think I can solve this problem. It's gonna be janky, but that's the way these things go. So we're gonna go like that, and then like that. No, we're not. No. Like that, I think. And like that. Let's see. This is gonna just keep blasting away. Horrible. That's how like hilarious and instantly humbling this game can be, where you think you came up with a great idea and then you're just immediately thrown off the trail. Alright, let's stop looking at that clownery. last time I'll say it, but I'll fix this, and then I'm gonna have to call it there. So, do that, do that, do that, and do that. Yeehaw, look at that. We did it. We only have 20 rat bolts left now, because I guess they went away when in transit. Yeah, this is the most, there's certainly a way better way to set this up. I don't really have the brain power right now to figure it out, but that's okay. Koopa, I've got these to set to shoot when they hit 50. You can set them up to 500, but this only holds 100. And right now I'm not gonna work on any like rad bolt containment or anything like that, just because we're gonna kind of slowly work through research as it becomes available to us. But yeah, you lose some in transit, but I just do 100 so that, and they're offset, so this one's at 18 right now, this one's at 22, so they're gonna kind of work at intervals, I guess. They're not shooting all at exactly the same time. This one's not on, but yeah, you see 20 rad bolts equals 2 applied sciences research, which is tough. But we'll kind of slowly work our way through our research there. Alright, our one's got aesthetic design now. And Bear's gonna stay where they are, but now we can redecorate all these, or some of, we'll keep the original, which was, I think this one here. These ones here though, redecorate them. Redecorate that. I don't remember which one was the OG, but it's important for everyone to remember their roots. So let's redecorate everything else. We'll leave these two for now. We'll get the large sculpting blocks going here. We'll toss some of those in here. We'll also toss I usually like to put them in here too, but yeah, let's do that. They have higher, and we want them made out of granite, because we want the high decor. So we're gonna get rid of those two and put it in granite. Also stick one next to the research station for Gandalf's benefit, as well as, yeah, maybe here, and here, and get rid of that. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. Felt like it was a productive one. Again, still moving a little bit slower than I would like to be, but I think we're getting somewhere. We've got our radiation technology set up, we've got some exploration down. Our hatch farming is starting once we get this polluted water and stuff like that dealt with. We'll expand out this side of the base as far as we can without running into the natural gas vent here. Oops. And then we'll build out our hatch ranches and things like that as far as we can. Make sure that they're producing as much as they can, as quickly as they can. And we'll start getting into space. And yeah. If you haven't followed me already, do consider giving me a follow if you're having fun or finding this enjoyable at all. But I'll be back on Thursday, and maybe with some more oxygen not included, but maybe with something else. Like, again, I was considering playing their billions, so we'll see. You know, look at the improvement, incredible. But yeah, if you're free on Thursday night, feel free to join. All right, take it easy, guys.